Have you ever wished there was an easier way to maintain a tidy home without feeling utterly exhausted or overwhelmed afterward? If that resonates with you, rest assured, you are certainly not the only one feeling that way. The encouraging news is that keeping your living space clean doesn't need to be a physically demanding ordeal, especially when you employ clever, senior-friendly approaches designed to conserve energy and minimize effort. In this discussion today, I will guide you through 6 practical, comfortable cleaning suggestions specifically tailored for older adults. Whether you are managing chronic pain, coping with limited mobility, or simply seeking ways to clean more efficiently rather than strenuously, these minor adjustments can help protect your joints, prevent excessive fatigue, and maintain a fresh, peaceful atmosphere in your home. Believe me, tip number 4 is quite revolutionary. A small change that might fundamentally alter how you perceive cleaning tasks forever. If you value straightforward solutions that genuinely simplify life, please feel free to tap the like button. We also invite you to share your own favorite cleaning strategy in the comments section below. One of the kindest adjustments you can make for yourself and your body is to synchronize your efforts with your energy levels, rather than battling against them. This begins with a remarkably simple concept. Dedicate just 10 minutes each day to cleaning. That's correct, only 10 minutes. Set a timer and select one small, manageable task, perhaps wiping down the bathroom mirror, sweeping under the kitchen table, or clearing out a single drawer. Once the timer sounds, stop. Take a breath, perhaps enjoy a cup of tea, or sit by the window for a moment. Allow that accomplishment to be sufficient for the time being. While it might seem overly simplistic, there's a certain magic to this approach. When you clean in brief, manageable intervals, you effectively sidestep feelings of being overwhelmed, lessen the physical strain on your joints, and most importantly, you remain active without depleting your energy reserves. According to insights from the Mayo Clinic, this method of tackling chores in microbursts is among the most effective strategies for seniors dealing with arthritis, fatigue, or chronic pain. It fosters consistency without inducing undue stress or causing physical setbacks. The focus isn't on pushing harder, but rather on pacing yourself wisely and preserving the energy you possess. If you appreciate this approach, consider subscribing to Old Age Wisdom for more helpful tips. Let me share the experience of Arthur, who is 79 and resides near Des Moines, Iowa. He has always taken pride in his home, but over the past few years, the prospect of cleaning the entire house in one go began to feel insurmountable. He would attempt it, but the exertion often left him sore for hours, sometimes even days. Then, one morning, he decided to try something different. He set his phone timer for just 10 minutes. On that day, he wiped down his kitchen counters. The following day, he emptied a drawer in the bathroom. He later shared, "That timer changed everything. I actually started looking forward to those 10 minutes. It made me feel like I was in charge again." And ultimately, that's the objective. Not necessarily to achieve a flawlessly pristine house, but to feel that you are still managing your home effectively on your own terms. Have you experimented with breaking down your chores in this manner? If you have, what's your preferred 10-minute task? I would genuinely love to hear about it. Please leave a comment below and share your routine. You might be surprised how beneficial your small habit could be to someone else reading. Now, let me pose a question. How many times have you lifted a laundry basket, only to experience that familiar sharp twinge in your lower back, or that persistent tightness in your shoulders that lingers for hours? It occurs more frequently than many of us care to acknowledge. The truth is, as we age, our bodies gently communicate an important message: be kind to me. Yet, we often attempt to push through, carrying just one more load of towels or moving one more pile of items across the room. Here's the essential point. You don't have to carry the weight of everything anymore, not when a superior method exists. One of the simplest and most beneficial changes you can implement at home is transitioning from lifting heavy items to rolling them. A lightweight, perhaps foldable, cart equipped with wheels can quite literally transfer the burden from your shoulders, back, and knees. You can utilize it for transporting laundry, carrying cleaning supplies, or even bringing groceries in from the car. This isn't merely about convenience. It's fundamentally about conserving your strength for activities that truly enrich your life. In fact, the American Physical Therapy Association advises minimizing repetitive lifting after age 65 to help protect against joint strain, reduce the risk of lower back degeneration, and mitigate balance-related injuries. Simply put, the less you lift, potentially the better you live. Let me share a brief story about Evelyn, 76, who lives alone in a tranquil suburb near Portland, Oregon. She used to manage all the laundry for herself and her husband. After his passing, she continued this habit, even when her hands ached and her back protested. One day, after nearly dropping a heavy basket of damp clothes, her daughter brought her a small rolling cart. Initially, Evelyn resisted, expressing concern about feeling old. Her daughter gently reframed it, saying, "No, Mom, you're not getting old. You're getting smarter." Now, Evelyn uses that cart daily, not just for laundry, but also for moving cleaning supplies, small grocery items, and even her knitting basket between rooms. She beautifully articulates its impact. "It gave me back my independence without costing me my body." So, consider this. Is there something in your home that you are still habitually carrying which you could easily roll instead? Imagine the feeling of letting go of that physical weight, both literally and perhaps emotionally. If this suggestion resonates with you, offering a small idea or even a touch of relief, please give this video a like. Have you ever reached for a cleaning product bottle, only to feel an uncomfortable twist in your wrist or notice your fingers slipping? Perhaps it's the sheer weight of the bottle, the stiffness of the trigger mechanism requiring more effort than seems reasonable, or maybe it's just another subtle reminder that your hands don't move with the same ease they once did. For many older adults, especially those managing arthritis, diminished grip strength, or nerve pain, even interacting with something as commonplace as a cleaning spray bottle can become a genuine obstacle. It's important to recognize this isn't a personal failing. Most cleaning product containers are designed with younger individuals having strong hands and perfectly functioning joints in mind. However, you deserve tools and methods that work for you, not against you. One of the most straightforward adjustments you can make is to transfer your frequently used cleaning solutions into smaller, lighter bottles. Think 8 to 12 ounces. It's the same effective product, just repackaged into a manageable size. A smaller spray bottle is inherently easier to hold securely, simpler to aim accurately, and less taxing to use until empty. This simple change eliminates the need for over-gripping, reduces the likelihood of spills, and prevents those frustrating moments when a heavy bottle slips and potentially breaks. The Arthritis Foundation strongly advocates for using lightweight, ergonomically designed tools for everyday tasks. This approach helps reduce joint flare-ups, prevent accidental injuries, and conserve precious energy. You shouldn't have to endure additional pain simply trying to keep your home clean. You need supportive solutions, and that support can begin with something as basic as the bottle you hold in your hand. Let me tell you about Walter, 74, living in Sarasota, Florida. Walter had always been quite meticulous, but as his arthritis worsened, even simple cleaning tasks became increasingly frustrating. One afternoon, he accidentally dropped a full-sized bleach bottle on his kitchen tile. It cracked, splashed, and the fumes stung. He recounted, "That was the day I almost gave up trying." However, the following week, a neighbor kindly brought him a small spray bottle already filled with diluted cleaner. It was easy to hold and featured a smooth trigger. Initially hesitant, Walter gave it a try. Now he cleans in short, manageable bursts, a little at a time, without experiencing pain. He even keeps a small bottle in each room and proudly states he hasn't dropped a single one since. This illustrates that adapting isn't about relinquishing control, it's about reclaiming it by using the right tools. Let me share something perhaps unexpected. One of the most frequent sources of hand and wrist strain among older adults isn't necessarily vacuuming or mopping, it's often dusting. Yes, dusting. It might not seem physically demanding, but consider the repetitive motions, the stretching required to reach surfaces, the pressure applied to potentially sore joints, and, perhaps most frustratingly, using flimsy cloths or traditional feather dusters that merely displace dust rather than effectively capturing it. If you've ever wiped the same shelf multiple times only to still see dust particles shimmering in the sunlight, you understand this frustration perfectly. But what if there was a superior method? One that is gentler on your hands, safer for your respiratory health, and significantly more effective. Allow me to introduce microfiber cloths. These cloths are engineered with ultra-fine fibers, thousands of tiny threads per square inch, designed to actually trap dust, dirt, and allergens, rather than scattering them back into the air. They are incredibly soft, meaning they won't scratch delicate surfaces like wood, glass, or electronics. Best of all, they accomplish the cleaning task with minimal pressure required. Often, no harsh chemical sprays are needed, and no aggressive scrubbing is necessary. Just a light, gentle pass usually suffices. The National Institutes of Health has noted that microfiber cloths can be up to 3 times more effective at trapping allergens and dust particles compared to standard cotton or synthetic cleaning rags. For individuals managing asthma, COPD, or environmental sensitivities, this enhanced cleaning capability isn't just helpful, it can be truly transformative for their indoor air quality. Let me introduce Carol, 81, who resides in a cozy cottage near Montpelier, Vermont. Her home is tranquil, filled with natural light, and features lovely old wooden bookshelves, the kind that seem to attract dust relentlessly. She used to dread dusting, her fingers stiffened by arthritis, her shoulders aching from the necessary stretching. Often, cleaning just one shelf would leave her needing to rest afterward. Then, one day, her son brought her a set of brightly colored microfiber cloths. They appeared simple, soft, nothing extraordinary. But when she used one for the first time, her reaction was immediate relief and surprise. No chemicals were needed, her wrist didn't hurt, and the shelf was genuinely clean. She felt capable again. Now, she shares, "I don't dread dusting anymore. I do a little each day, and my hands, they thank me for it." It's amazing how something so small can make such a big difference. Carol also offers a helpful tip: lightly dampen your microfiber cloth with plain water before dusting. It will trap even more particles, often eliminating the need for any cleaning sprays whatsoever. Let me pose this question. Have you ever finished a snack while relaxing in your living room, then glanced towards the kitchen trash bin and thought, "I'll dispose of that later"? Often, later stretches into hours, and soon, used tissues accumulate on the side table, wrappers find hiding places between couch cushions, and that initially small bit of mess gradually expands. Quietly, slowly, it can begin to subtly weigh on your mood. Why does this common scenario occur? For many older adults, making multiple trips across the house throughout the day just to throw away a single item can feel surprisingly exhausting. For some, these extra steps might even pose a risk. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention identifies falls as the leading cause of injury among seniors in the United States, and a significant portion of these falls happen during seemingly short, innocuous walks within the home, particularly when one is tired or momentarily distracted. So, here's a suggestion that sounds minor but can profoundly change the ambience and functionality of your living space. Strategically place small trash bins throughout your home. Yes, truly. Consider placing one near your favorite armchair, another in the bedroom, one conveniently located by your bathroom sink, perhaps even one beside your sewing machine, craft table, or near the TV remote. This simple strategy eliminates the need to hold on to used tissues or junk mail scraps until you happen to be getting up anyway. It prevents the accumulation of steps that slowly contribute to fatigue. You can simply toss items away right then and there. It seems like a trivial adjustment, but in practice, it offers a sense of freedom and order. Let me share the experience of Clarence, 77, who lives alone in a mobile home near Santa Fe, New Mexico. A kind, sharp-witted man. His mobility is somewhat limited by knee pain resulting from years working as a mechanic. He shared, "I used to make probably 10 trips a day just to the kitchen trash can. By evening, I'd wonder why I felt too tired to even cook dinner." His daughter noticed this pattern. The following weekend, she brought him 3 small, inexpensive bins. They weren't elaborate, but their impact was significant. Now, Clarence discards things as he goes. No more accumulating clutter, no more delaying with "I'll do it later." The most rewarding part, he says, is, "I don't feel guilty about mess anymore. I feel in control again." And isn't that sense of control something we all value? This small trick of placing mini bins where you need them most helps keep your home tidier, calmer, and safer. It might even reduce the risk of tripping over forgotten items or walking unnecessarily when fatigued. Let's visualize a common kitchen scene. Afternoon sunlight streams through the window, illuminating a plate sitting in the sink. It was used hours ago, and now bears the remnants of a meal, perhaps hardened sauce, dry crumbs, maybe even a bit of egg stubbornly clinging to the surface. You see it, acknowledging it needs washing, but the mere thought of the scrubbing involved, the twisting motion, the pressure required, your hands might already ache, or your back sends a signal of protest. So, you walk away, postponing the task. Later, when you return, the job feels even more daunting. Does this scenario sound familiar? For countless older adults, washing dishes transcends being a simple chore. It can feel like a physical battle. This isn't necessarily due to the volume of dishes, but rather the type of cleaning required once food has dried and hardened. What was initially an easy rinse transforms into a strenuous workout for the hands and wrists, and that exertion can cause pain. However, here's a crucial realization. It doesn't have to be this difficult. The most effective way to conserve your energy, protect your hands, and save time is remarkably simple. Rinse dishes immediately after use, or at the very least, let them soak. Even if you feel tired right after eating, take just a moment. Hold the plate under warm running water for a quick rinse to remove the majority of food particles. Alternatively, if you're not quite ready to wash them thoroughly, place the dishes in a small basin filled with warm, soapy water to soak. This prevents food from hardening, eliminating the need for forceful scrubbing and excessive pressure later on. It's a straightforward shift in timing that makes a world of difference when you eventually wash them. According to Dr. Emma Harris, a geriatric home care specialist, incorporating small preventive actions like immediate dish rinsing can significantly lessen the daily burden of housekeeping for older adults. It helps preserve strength and minimizes cumulative physical strain over time. Consider Dorothy, 82, living alone in Duluth, Minnesota. For years, she followed a pattern of eating dinner and leaving her dishes in the sink until later in the evening. By then, she'd be tired, standing at the sink scrubbing with stiff fingers, feeling frustrated and sore. One day, after accidentally dropping and breaking a ceramic bowl, she decided, enough. Now, the moment she finishes her meal, she places her dishes into a basin of warm water with a bit of gentle soap. Sometimes she rinses them off right away. Other times she lets them soak for an hour or two. The result? No more strenuous scraping, no more associated pain. She beautifully summarizes the change. Now, after dinner, I enjoy my tea, not my frustration. This tiny habit adjustment has given her back her evenings and eased the strain on her hands. So, there we have it. 6 small, yet thoughtful, adjustments. Rinsing dishes promptly, switching to soft microfiber cloths, using a rolling cart instead of lifting, cleaning in brief 10-minute segments, opting for smaller cleaning bottles, and placing mini trash bins conveniently around your home. They might appear simple initially, but for those of us carrying the wisdom of more years, these little shifts can introduce genuine ease, tangible peace, and a welcome touch of grace into the rhythm of everyday life. Embracing older age doesn't necessitate giving up. Rather, it involves learning to move through life differently, more gently, more thoughtfully, and more wisely. You've likely dedicated much of your life to caring for others. Now is the time to extend that same level of care to yourself in the ways you truly deserve. Perhaps these tips won't revolutionize the entire world, but they might just brighten your day or lighten your load. And sometimes, that is precisely what we need most. If any part of this discussion brought a smile to your face or allowed your shoulders to relax even just a little, consider passing that feeling onward. Share this video with a friend, a neighbor, or perhaps even your adult children. Everyone deserves to live with less stress and more gentleness. We at Old Age Wisdom would be delighted to hear from you. Please leave a comment below, perhaps sharing your favorite tip or a related experience. Every voice contributes to the supportive circle we are building here, a space where age is viewed as a strength, experience is shared openly, and no one has to navigate challenges alone. If you haven't already, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Tapping the little notification bell ensures you'll always be alerted when a new story, a fresh idea, or a moment of heartfelt encouragement is ready for you. From all of us here at Old Age Wisdom, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your valuable time. And most importantly, thank you for continuing to choose growth, adaptation, and self-care, one gentle step at a time. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Remember, you're never walking this path alone. We're in this together.